Hi, Bill Cullen here. We call the show Cullen's Adventures, and we're going to set a course today in the direction of the waters off the stern and rock-bound coast of Maine. The project at hand, loading up on a little lobster lure. Our program is presented as a special service by this station and is furnished by Grolier Incorporated, publishers of the Book of Knowledge, the foremost children's encyclopedia for more than 50 years. Well, in terms of clothing habits, traveling habits, entertainment habits, and such, summers in New England circa the 1960s are vastly different from the Junes and Julys and Augusts of our colonial forefathers. In terms of eating habits, or at least one eating habit, the pattern is not so different. Today's residents of Maine, like the very earliest settlers on these shores, become involved every summer in a passionate love affair with the lobster. Now, of course, thanks to modern freezing techniques and air transportation, lobsters are available almost everywhere, winter or summer. But this warm weather season is the best time for catching them, and in the opinion of most state of Mainers, for nibbling on them, at meals and in between meals, any and every day of the week. In which case, this might also be a good reason for undertaking a brief study of the lobster, historical, zoological, geographical, and otherwise. My lobster lore supply source? As always, the Book of Knowledge. For those of you interested in family background, the lobster belongs to the animal group known as the crustaceans and is a kissing kin of the shrimp, the prawn, and the crab. The members of the New England coast branch of the lobster family are equipped with claws, as are most northern European lobsters. The lobsters of the West Indian and Pacific coast areas have no claws and depend on a spiny coat of armor and long antennae for defense. Both these lobster types turn up regularly on human dining tables, but the more popular by far in this country is the one with the claws. It's been sought along the east coast from the Gaspé Peninsula southward since the days of the first American settlements. Have you any idea how old the average dining table lobster is? I'll bet considerably older than you might suspect. It takes from 6 to 10 years for a young lobster to attain a weight of 1 pound. And most lobsters that reach the table these days weigh in at that or perhaps a little more. Lobsters larger than 2 pounds are inclined to be tough, so they don't turn up very often at the seafood counter, although they're fairly common in the ocean. There are lobsters on record of as much as 40 pounds, giants in size, and Methuselahs in years. Well, summer is the big season for trapping lobsters for the very good reason that, at this time of the year, the claw wavers switch from being denizens of the deep to denizens of the shallow. Throughout the winter months, the Atlantic coast lobsters dwell on the ocean bottom far offshore at depths up to 500 feet. Come summer, they move into shallower waters, thereby becoming accessible to and enticeable by the well-baited traps of the lobstermen. As you may or may not remember, the lobster, when he's trapped, is not the bright red color he is when he gets to your table. Live lobsters are a deep blue-black. Embarrassed as they may be at being caught, they don't turn red until they're cooked, and then it's too late. And with that colorful bit of lobster lore, we'll have to bring today's Cullen's Adventures journey to a halt. One quick invitation for the parents in the crowd. We've put together a special booklet full of facts and figures, such as you've heard on the show. And if you'd like to receive a copy to pass on to the youngsters, drop us a line. All we need is your name and address on a postcard. No money, just your name and address. Mail your card to Cullen's Adventures, Box 3400, Grand Central Station, New York City, and we'll send the booklet right out. I'll be back again tomorrow for another of these Cullen's Adventure get-togethers, furnished by Grolier Incorporated, publishers of the Book of Knowledge. Until then, goodbye.